The rumors inside the company had been swirling for months. The young and impossibly successful CEO, Zion Malik, had rejected proposals from some of the richest and most influential families in the city. Socialite daughters, models, heirs of business dynasties, none of them could get more than a polite handshake and a distant smile from him. People said he was cold, too focused on work, too unemotional to ever fall in love. But the truth was far more unexpected than anyone could ever imagine. Because the only woman who made his heartbeat change even by a fraction wasn't someone from a powerful family, or someone dressed in designer clothes, or someone who walked red carpets under the city lights. She was a janitor. A simple, quiet, hard-working janitor who everybody else walked past without even noticing. Her name was Aisha. She worked the night shift, cleaning the marble floors, emptying trash bins, wiping down glass doors until they shined like mirrors. She never spoke much, kept her head down, always tied her hair in a loose bun that fell apart by the end of the shift, and wore a faded uniform that carried the scent of disinfectant and detergent. She never expected anyone in the upper floors to know her name. The building was a world of shiny shoes, perfect suits, and hushed conversations, the opposite of hers. Her world was buckets, mops, and quiet humming to make the long nights pass. Zion first noticed her at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday night, long after the office had emptied. He had stayed behind, exhausted, staring at the contract on his desk that would either make his company rise to new heights or crumble under the pressure. He ran a hand through his hair, leaned back, and closed his eyes for a second. That's when he heard it. Soft footsteps, then the gentle clink of a bucket, then a quiet humming, almost like a lullaby. He opened his eyes, slightly irritated at the interruption, but the moment he saw her, his irritation faded into curiosity. She didn't notice him at first. She was too busy scrubbing the floor near the huge glass window. Her movements were rhythmic, her humming soft, almost comforting in the empty silence of the office. "Excuse me," he said quietly, not wanting to startle her. But she still jumped slightly, turning around quickly, clutching the mop handle like it was her only defense. "Sorry, sir, I didn't know someone was still here." Her voice was soft, unsure. She avoided eye contact, as if she believed she had no right to look a CEO in the eyes. Zion found that strange. Everyone wanted his attention. Everyone fought for his gaze, his approval, his smile. But she only wanted to continue her work and disappear back into the shadows. "It's all right," he said, standing up. "What's your name?" She hesitated, looking confused. "My name." "Yes, your name." She swallowed lightly. "Aisha." He repeated it under his breath. It sounded peaceful, like the first drop of rain on dry land. That night, after she left, he couldn't focus. The contract in front of him blurred, replaced by the image of that shy girl with tired eyes and soft humming. It wasn't attraction, at least not yet. It was curiosity, a curiosity he couldn't explain. Over the following weeks, he saw her more often. Not intentionally at first, but gradually, he found himself staying later in the office, and she always appeared around the same time, pushing her cleaning cart, humming softly, unaware that she had an audience. He watched how gentle she was with everything, the furniture, the glass, the plants. As if everything deserved care. One night he saw her standing near the big window, staring at the city lights with this strange softness in her eyes. She didn't notice him watching. She whispered to herself, not knowing he was close enough to hear. Someday, maybe. He wondered what she dreamed of, what she wished for. One night, as she cleaned a spill near his office, he asked, "Why do you work this late?" She froze. "Because this is the shift I was given." "That's not what I meant." He leaned forward on his desk, studying her. "You look tired." She forced a small smile. "Life doesn't always give choices, sir." He didn't reply. Those words, simple, humble, hit him deeper than he expected. Another night, she dropped a stack of papers she was carrying for the admin staff. They scattered like snow across the elevator lobby. She panicked, kneeling to collect them as quickly as possible. Before she could even gather half, another set of hands appeared beside her. She looked up in shock. It was him, the CEO, kneeling on the floor next to her, helping her pick up papers. "Sir, please, you shouldn't." "It's all right," he said calmly. I'm just helping. Her eyes softened, confused. No one had ever done something like that for her. After that, something changed. She began greeting him softly whenever she saw him. And every night he found an excuse to pass by the floor she was cleaning. He started asking her small things. Where are you from? Do you have siblings? What do you do when you're not working? She was hesitant at first but slowly opened up. She told him she lived with her younger sister, that she worked 2 jobs to support her education, that she once dreamt of studying interior design but life had taken her somewhere else. She talked about her mother's illness, about how she never had time to rest, about how she prayed for better days even if she didn't expect them. He listened. No one had ever shared such honest, raw stories with him without any intention of impressing him. There were no makeup-covered smiles, no expensive perfumes, no designer dresses, just honesty. Soon, the company noticed something strange. Zion had started attending fewer high society events. He rejected meeting proposals with influential families' daughters. He excused himself from gatherings where wealthy women circled him like butterflies attracted to light. One evening, his board member joked, "Sir, people are saying you're rejecting every woman in the elite circle. Are you hiding someone?" Zion only smiled faintly. "No one you would expect." Meanwhile, Aisha never guessed anything. To her, he was just a kind boss who sometimes talked to her to pass time. She never allowed herself to think more. Men like him didn't fall for women like her. That was the rule of the world. But Zion wasn't following those rules. One rainy night, he waited for her near the lobby. She arrived drenched from the storm, trying to wring water out of her sleeves. She didn't have an umbrella. He saw her shivering and immediately took off his coat, placing it over her shoulders. She froze in shock. "Sir, no, I can't. This is too much." "You're cold," he said simply. "And I don't like seeing you uncomfortable." Her throat tightened. No one cared about her comfort. No one ever noticed. But he did. As the weeks passed, his feelings deepened silently, quietly, like a secret that grew roots in his heart. He admired her kindness, her resilience, her simplicity. The way she smiled only when absolutely necessary. The way she never complained despite everything life threw at her. The way she looked at the world with hope even when she had nothing. Finally, one night, he found her sitting on a bench near the back exit, holding her ankle in pain. She had slipped on the wet floor earlier. "Aisha," he rushed to her side. "Why didn't you call someone?" She shook her head. "It's nothing. I'll be fine. You're hurt." He knelt down and gently touched her ankle, careful not to hurt her more. She tried to pull back, embarrassed, but he didn't let her. "You're always taking care of everything. Let someone take care of you for once." Her eyes glistened. Something unspoken passed between them, something fragile yet overwhelmingly warm. He drove her home that night. It was the first time he saw the small, dimly lit neighborhood she lived in. When she stepped out of the car, she whispered, "Thank you, for everything." He wanted to say more. He wanted to tell her what he felt. But he couldn't. Not yet. The next week, the company hosted a grand event for a new partnership. The socialite daughters arrived in shimmering gowns, each more extravagant than the last. They flocked around Zion, smiling, tossing their hair, trying to get his attention. He was polite, but distant. His eyes kept drifting toward the hallway where he last saw Aisha cleaning earlier. One bold socialite stepped close, placing her hand on his arm. "Mr. Malik, everyone wonders who will be the lucky woman to win your heart." He removed her hand gently. "Someone who isn't here tonight." The murmur that followed spread like wildfire. Later, after the event, he found Aisha alone in the staff corridor. She looked at him nervously. "I heard you rejected another proposal today," she said quietly. He took a step closer. "Do you want to know why?" She swallowed hard. "It's none of my business." "It is," he said softly, "because the reason is you." Her breath hitched. She froze, confused, shocked, terrified to believe what she heard. "Me, sir, please, don't joke with things like this." "I've never been more serious," he whispered. "I don't want a woman who wants my money. I don't want someone chasing my status. I want someone whose heart is real. Someone who sees life with honesty. Someone who works hard, cares deeply, and doesn't pretend. Someone like you." Tears filled her eyes. She shook her head weakly. But I'm just a janitor. And I'm just a man who fell in love, he said. Titles don't matter. She covered her mouth, overwhelmed. People will talk. They'll judge. Let them, he replied. They've talked before. They'll talk again. But they don't get to decide my heart. Her tears slipped silently down her cheeks. He gently wiped one with his thumb. Aisha, tell me I'm not alone in this. Tell me you feel even a little of what I do. Her voice trembled. I tried not to. I thought someone like you could never. He stepped closer, closing the distance between them. But I do. Her heart fluttered painfully, beautifully. And for the first time, she didn't hold herself back. I feel it too, she whispered. Zion's relief was visible in his eyes, warm, unguarded, full of emotion he'd never shown anyone. He took her hands gently, as if she were something fragile and precious. Then let me stay by your side, he said softly. Not as a CEO, but as someone who finally found the woman worth loving. And under the quiet glow of the corridor lights, with cleaning carts and mop buckets in the background, the CEO and the janitor began a story no one in the company would ever forget.